Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening. Whatever time it is when you hear this message, I pray that you are poised to receive, to accept, and to respond to words of wisdom. Ashe. Once upon a time, I knew a guy who was supremely talented. I mean, by every measure. Anyone will tell you that this individual was very talented naturally. And not only that, he was not a slacker. He had a really tremendous work ethic, which means that he was putting in lots and lots of hours honing his craft and mastering the art of what he did. And it was interesting to spend time with him because, without exaggeration, I mean, 5 minutes into any conversation, he would start complaining. And the complaining would lead to criticism of other people. And then the criticism of other people leads to gossiping about other people. And then, gossiping about this person's relationship with that person. And then it kind of snowballs. And the next thing you know, 25, 30 minutes later, this guy's just talking about people and not doing the work, or gossiping about people while, doing the work. And I understand why he was so disgruntled, why he was so deeply frustrated. I truly understand. And even in the days when I would used to see him, I knew why he was so frustrated. I could feel his angst, and I knew why he felt that way. It had everything to do with the fact that, he wasn't fulfilling his destiny. And he wasn't fulfilling his destiny because he was not applying his natural gifts and talents to the people who he was destined to serve. He wasn't in service. He wasn't focused on service. He wasn't able to define for himself the people who really needed him, and the people who were going to feed him, and you know what I mean? People he could really build up that kind of rapport and that trust with, to be able to correct and teach and build him up. Because here's the thing. Criticizing, gossiping, and complaining are radically different from teaching and correcting. It's not the same. It isn't the same. You see, a person will criticize and gossip and complain to tear you down. But a person will teach and correct to lift you up. Okay? And so if we take, for example, dancing. I myself, I'm not a dancer. Okay? And so you might, two people might see me out there flailing around trying to call myself dancing. And the untrained person, or the person who's criticizing and complaining and gossiping, that person is going to look and say, that's not how you do it. That's wrong. You look crazy. They might just laugh, ridicule. That's all they're going to give me. But the person who's actually trained and dedicated to teaching and correcting is going to tell me, you need to put your feet like this, and you need to bend your knees like this, and you need to have your hips like this, and your shoulders need to be like that. And the music is going to start, and then you're going to start with your right foot right here, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, right? Totally different experience. See, the complainer, critic, doesn't give me any actionable direction. But the teacher and corrector gives me specific actions and behaviors and cues and context for me to do things the way that they're supposed to be done. It's an entirely different thing. Okay? And so when you are in the position to serve, when you know your natural gifts and talents, and you're mastering your natural gifts and talents, and you focus on the people who you're destined to serve, you're going to approach them with the intent to build them up. And you're going to take all the necessary steps to build up a rapport and trust with those people so that you can give them the kind of feedback that they need and they can receive that feedback. Right? Within our ranks today of Orisha devotees, we have entirely too many gossipers, too many critics, too many complainers, too many. There are too many people who haven't found their niche, really. Maybe they're just imitating what they saw other people do, and they're just going through the motions of calling themselves priests and priestesses, but that's not really their niche. Maybe the way they're working the priesthood, I don't know. There are a lot of different reasons why these folks are not really focused on the people who they're destined to serve. Because I'm going to tell you, when you find the people that you're destined to serve, and you're ready and willing to give your natural gifts and talents to those people, that's your highest joy. That is your deepest sense of fulfillment. You don't have the time or the capacity or even the interest to sit around and complain and gossip and criticize all these random people out here in the world. Anytime you find yourself around people who are complaining and gossiping and criticizing just, recklessly, you know that these are folks who are not grounded. They're not fulfilling their destinies. These are people who are in need of focus. Okay? And I would encourage you to say so. Ask these folks, hey, well, what can we do? How can we go about setting something up so that you can do something about it? Sounds like you got a lot of energy around this. It sounds like you got a lot of passion around this issue. What is it that we could do to get you started? What is it that you could do to get yourself started in fulfilling this vision that you have? Right? And I say it that way because, when you have a vision, when you know how things are supposed to go, when you know what's supposed to happen, when you see things that don't meet that standard, or when you just realize that this isn't the way it's supposed to be, it can look like it can irritate you at the least level, at the lowest level. That's kind of like irritating, but it could even seem, offensive to you, where you see people doing things the way they aren't supposed to be done. And so, some of the things that people are criticizing and complaining about are things that really you see them because you have the remedy, but it's only going to come off as frustration and angst until you apply yourself to mastering your natural gifts and talents, honing the equipment and the materials and skills associated with your natural gifts and talents, and focusing those natural gifts and talents on solving real problems for real people that you are destined to serve. And this is why I constantly urge you, tap into your natural gifts and talents, master them, find out who you're destined to serve, and give everything you have to helping solve real problems, right? This is what it means to live the medicine that will heal your life and heal the lives of those who you're destined to serve. This is what I do in the School of Orisha Studies and the Orisha Lifestyle Academy. And I'm looking for leaders to that effect. I'm looking for people who are committed to changing the world through positive influence. If you're one of those people, I want you to go to obafemio.com or orishalifestyle.com and get enrolled. Start getting my books, start viewing the videos, start reading the blog, enroll in the classes, and let's start working together so that you can apply all of your natural gifts and talents to the people who are most in need of your services, your talents, your abilities. I look forward to working with you. Bye for now. Odabo.